Yo, what's going on guys? My name's Stingy Roger, but everyone just calls me Stingy. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a highly requested video, and that is a review on the Volar Sport / Formula 39 USD forks. Now these forks are an amazing set of forks. I've been using them for about a month now and I've been blown away with their performance, but I really wanted to give them a proper test both on and off-road just to give my final feedback. They are going to be staying on the bike. I do not believe there is a better fork out there for these bikes at the moment. They're really stiff forks, so you don't get any flex in them whatsoever. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video and let me give you my exact forks and feedback on these. Before we get into today's video, if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date with future uploads. Without further ado, let's get on with the review. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the specs of these forks. So these forks are actually manufactured by a company called Formula. They're called the Formula 39 fork, and they're a USD fork. USD stands for upside down. So if you're familiar with mountain biking, the stanchions are usually at the top. Now these are called upside down forks because the stanchions on these are at the bottom, much like a motocross fork. Now, the stanchion width on these is actually 39 millimeters. So that is a really rather large stanchion. If you compare it to something like the Fast Ace, which is 37, or the EXT Ferros, that's a 36mm stanchion, and the standard fork as well, I believe, is a 36mm stanchion too if you have something like the DNM fork. So these really aren't comparable to the likes of a Fox 40 or a Bomber 58 purely because they are designed for motocross bikes. Now when I say motocross bikes, these are not the type of fork you're going to see on an 85cc bike nowadays, but this actually is a fork that's used on the Bucci line of pit bikes. Now, when we say pit bikes, I don't mean the typical Chinese junk you normally see, where the suspension is really rather terrible. Bucci pit bikes are the highest end sort of racing pit bikes that are made using only the best components. They've got Formula brakes, they've got these forks, they've got a proper moto shock, and they cost in excess of what a KTM 85cc two-stroke dirt bike would cost. They cost around £5,000, which is crazy. But yeah, now these forks have been made in collaboration with Volar Sport, who also make my fantastic, amazing brakes. And I'll bring you in for some close-ups in a minute, but these forks are such high quality, they are literally on par with my KTM forks. Now, the best part about these forks, compared to other offerings that you can find for these bikes, is that the fork actually has more travel than any other fork. So the travel on these is actually 235 millimeters, which is 30 millimeters more than any other brand of fork. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you in for a close-up, show you all of the hardware, show you how they mount and just the actual quality of it. And then I'm going to include some riding clips and tell you my thought of their performance. So here we are where the axle goes through. Now, as you can see, the actual bolts are on the top here, much like a motocross design, and they're two 10mm pinch bolts. You also have your high and low speed compression on the bottom of each fork leg. I haven't messed with that yet, but I don't think I need to. The fork guards mount up much like a motocross fork as well, two on the front, one on the side. These are aluminium, so you don't want to over tighten these. You have a really sturdy brake line on the fork guard. And yeah, the axle is a three-piece axle, so you've got two caps either side with a nice thick axle. But the beauty of these forks is that they've been made with an axle to fit TALARIA or Surron front wheels, and also the crowns fit without a spacer or an adapter, so you don't need any sort of headset adapter to run these forks. And then you've also got your high and low speed rebound at the top. Now, one thing I will say about these forks is that they only come in gold, which I know is not everyone's cup of tea, but I personally love it. They really remind me of the old Honda gold and red sort of colour scheme. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the gold, but it would be nice if they offered something like a black set so it can match other people's builds. I'm sure you could get them re-anodized if you want to go through the trouble of it, but maybe that's something Volar Sport can include in the future. So yesterday I actually went out for 3 hours. There was 5 of us in total. We were smashing these trails all day long, really fast, having a bit of laugh with each other, seeing who was the fastest. we were hitting logs and trees sort of, you know, maybe 8 to 10 inches in diameter at 40 miles per hour plus. We had a few bikes show where they were and weren't so capable. A knackered swing arm, you know, a bent axle on a few of them. My bike stayed on point all day long, and these forks were just like phenomenal. I was having a whale of time where everyone else was getting arm pump, and you know, the bike was throwing and rattling them around. Mine was just so supple and smooth. You've got extra 30mm of travel over a, you know, a normal fork. So at the top, you've just got that extra bit of support where you can hit things a lot harder without bottoming the forks out and being deflected off of objects, which was really good. We were sending this over like a 30-foot moto style jump as well. No bottoming out. I'll attach pictures, a video of that in a minute. And then we also have the EXT shock on the rear of this. The combination of those two together is just phenomenal. I know a lot of people do recommend using these with the Elka shock, which is also what you can find on a Bucci pit bike. But for me, the EXT Armour has been fantastic. I won't be changing that, and I won't be changing the forks anytime soon. I've also got a Supermoto set of wheels now, which I've been trying these forks out on as well, because as you might know or may not, your fork setup for off-road is very different to your fork setup for on-road. But I did not touch these, I just left them alone. And yeah, they were phenomenal on the road as well. Potholes at 50, 60 mile an hour, you can just glide through them. You can bounce up a curb without really feeling it if you need to quickly go off. But yeah, this is my new, I got a new set of Supermotos, which you'll see in the video soon. This is courtesy of WGT Racing, as you can see on my hat. If you want a set of these, they are now in stock, both for Supermotos and his off-road wheel sets like I've got here. And if you quote Stingy Roger in his DM when you're ordering, or if you use it as a discount code in his website, you will get a discount on the wheels, so make sure you do that. And the best thing I love about the WGT setup is you've got a 110 wide rear. So this is the widest rear you could possibly fit on one of these bikes, and it comes ready and dished slightly to fit without you having to do anything. Just mount it straight up onto the bike and it clears the chain perfectly. So yeah, really recommend these. But yeah, the Supermotos rode really nicely with the forks, and because they're a bit longer overall, you still get a bit of a geometry correction, which we all know these bikes need. They're basically like nose heavy when they're standard on the standard forks. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really impressed with them, and so is everyone else. So guys, like I mentioned earlier, the price of these forks is £1,250. Now after you pay VAT and import, it's going to come to a little over £1,500, which I assume is around $2,000. Now that is very expensive, but they're definitely worth it. They're still much cheaper than the EXT Ferros, and I have a sneaky suspicion that these are the better fork. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, guys, please leave me a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if for the people that have been subscribed for a while, thanks for your continued support. I've been really busy recently with work after going on holiday, so I haven't had time to make a video in the past month, but we're back. I've got an Engwe video to film soon. And yeah, please leave some comments below suggesting what videos you want to see next. I'm going to get some more free rides going, some more trail riding, and then we're going to get some Supermoto content on a Supermoto track. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.